Hi everyone, welcome back and welcome to any of those who might be new to my channel. In this video, I'm going to specifically focus on the basically days 0 through day 5 of my frozen embryo transfer, so the days after my frozen embryo transfer. So stay tuned to hear about how that's been going. Okay guys, so first off, I just want to say that I was hesitant to do a video like this, and I think because I just know that symptom spotting and symptom obsessing can make you go crazy, and I think that's why the 2-week wait is so hard. And so I was kind of hesitant to do that because I didn't want to feed into that and like say, oh, I felt this and I felt that. And so then people might think, oh, well, you know, if we end up not being successful, then, well, she felt those things, so probably I'm not going to be successful too. Or if I am successful, vice versa, like, oh, she felt that, I'm not feeling that, maybe we're not successful. I don't want any of you to like stress about that, because first off, I want to say, from me looking up symptoms for people in their 2-week wait from frozen embryo transfer to finding out if they're pregnant or not, it's all over the board. So just a heads up about that. But I decided that I did want to do this video. For one thing, I did have someone kind of request that I did a video like this, and they said, you know, if you're up to it, you know, kind of gave that preface, and it caused me to kind of think about it more, and also to say, like, the whole reason why I'm doing this channel is to share my experience with IVF, and this is part of the experience, a 2-week wait. And so for me to leave that out, and for you guys like not to see what it's like to kind of go through that, even though it could be completely different for you, I just felt like was taking out a chunk of it that was important. So I decided to do it. And so first off, I will start out with just how I'm doing mentally and emotionally. So I will say overall, I feel like things have been good. We just had a great time on the day of transfer as well. We like went to lunch, and then I had acupuncture that afternoon and was just really relaxed. And then we went to dinner with friends and just had a fun time. And I'm just thankful for that. And then it was the weekend, and we just did a lot of just chill, you know, activities, and we just kind of really took it easy. And I think that was really great for us. So I'm thankful for that. And you know, today is Wednesday, so I am currently 5 days past a 5-day frozen embryo transfer. And but yeah, overall things have been good. I will say today I've been feeling a little bit more anxious, like just my body kind of feeling anxious. Not so much that I'm like obsessing of thinking about it, but I guess kind of thinking about it to do this video, but not like, I don't know, I feel like it's not that I'm constantly worried, like, is it working, is it not? But it's just, I feel just like my body's a little bit anxious. And I didn't sleep well last night as well, and I had crazy dreams, which that's not a rare thing for me. So I know some people say they get crazy dreams when they get pregnant, but I get crazy dreams every once in a while, so it wasn't like for sure, you know, something. But one of the dreams I had was that my period started, and that like all kinds of crazy stuff was happening, like my uterus fell out, and like anyway, and I was crying, and I was like, oh my gosh, like we can never get pregnant, and like and then I woke up and I was like, oh, okay, that was just a dream. So that was a relief. But yeah, so, and then another thing, so emotionally, last night I had just this kind of emotional crazy feelings, like just feeling upset and crying, and like just kind of not even sure how I was feeling, and it was just that was the first time where I felt like, okay, this seems more like a hormonal emotional response versus a legitimate emotional response, because IVF is emotional, and it's not just the hormones, it's emotional. And I'm a pretty like emotional person. I guess I can cry pretty easily. But last night it just felt weird. Like it felt like I don't even know why I'm upset. I don't even know why I'm crying. And that was the first time I kind of thought like maybe I'm feeling it's because of the hormones, because I really haven't felt that at all. Even though I'm swallowing estrogen, I'm pumping progesterone into my hip, I'm putting progesterone up inside of me, so these hormones are going everywhere. But I really haven't felt any like emotional craziness really until kind of last night. It didn't last long, but it was just kind of like, oh, interesting. So, and I know a lot of people do experience that with these hormones, and so I just wanted to kind of mention that. But yeah, so I think that's kind of where I am. I definitely want to know, but I don't want to test yet. A lot of people do test. I feel like most people say like, oh, it's pretty safe to test on 5 days past a 5-day transfer. And some people even start testing earlier than that, like 3 days past and whatnot. But I just am not comfortable with that. And for some people it may relieve stress, but for me, I just feel like I would have been obsessing over it too much. And I just kind of wanted to wait because I didn't just want to see negative and then feel discouraged and not sure and just all this stuff. And I do want to take a home test before we do our beta. And that's really just so I can kind of have a heads up of what to expect. Who knows, that might change, but as of right now, that's what I'm thinking I'm going to do. And so yeah, I'm not really going to sure exactly when I'll do that, but I am thinking I'm going to do that. Now for physical symptoms, first off, on day 0, the day of the transfer, a lot of people say they experience cramping. I did not have any cramping, so I'm thankful for that. Even when they put the catheter in and put the embryo in, I did not have any cramping, and I've had catheters put through my cervix before, the mock transfer, and which I didn't cramp with that either, actually. But when I did IUIs, I would cramp with that. And maybe that, I don't know, maybe because they're squirting more stuff in there, the sperm and all that, I don't know. But I didn't feel any cramping. They did have a little bit of a difficult time getting the catheter into my cervix. And I was kind of worried during the time because I was like, oh no, is the embryo in there? And could it fall out? And blah, blah, blah. But thankfully, once they got the catheter in, they're like, okay, you're all set, you're ready. Now we're going to bring in the embryo. And so I was like, oh, okay. So anyway, yeah. And so I just wanted to kind of give that I didn't have any cramping, but that sometimes, they may have trouble getting through your cervix. That could be something that could happen. But anyway, the main things that I've been feeling, I guess probably the day of and maybe starting more after, I can't remember because I didn't write anything down. I've tried not to really focus too much on it. So I'm not really sure the days of when all these things happen, but I would say for the most part, I've been feeling a tightness, a pulling, kind of like, specifically like when I sneeze or I cough, I feel like, oh my gosh, like it just kind of feels tight and like it's pulling down there. Not super painful, but just kind of like, oh wow, like, I don't know, even kind of worried, like, oh my gosh, am I shaking things up too much down there? But yeah, so it's definitely noticeable when I cough, when I sneeze. Also, when I get up and walk around, I feel like it's kind of getting a little bit more noticeable. Like today, I've kind of felt it maybe a little bit more when I'm walking around and stuff, but like, twisting and turning, even like lying into bed, anytime I'm kind of using that area down there, I kind of feel like that pulling and stuff. And every once in a while, like a little bit of mild cramping or twinges. But that's about it. And yeah, I really can't think of, I have felt kind of drained today, but I think that has a lot to do with just me not sleeping well last night. Another thing I will say too is that, and this happened before I did the transfer, so I think this is from the progesterone. So this more progesterone symptom is peeing multiple times in the night, which I never did that before. And so twice a night, and it was getting so annoying. And actually last night I didn't do that, and the night before I didn't do that. But anyway, that could also be something you could experience, is more frequent peeing, and especially peeing in the middle of the night, which is not so fun. You know, to have to wake up and go pee. So anyway, that's pretty much the only things I could think of symptom-wise. I do want to also give you a little bit of an update on the progesterone and oil, because my hips are actually feeling better than they were before the transfer. So before the transfer I was giving 2 shots a day, so 1 in the morning and 1 at night. And now I just give 1 in the morning, and then I do a suppository of progesterone at night, a vaginal suppository. So anyway, I think my hips, you know, having that little bit more of a break, have been feeling better. They are, you know, still a little bit sore, but not near as much as they were. And I'm also just really thankful that those shots are going really well, and they really haven't been hurting me. And I think it really has a lot to do with me going more to the side, like more of my hip, you know, making sure, and really the video, and I'll link it up here, that, you know, where I did the injection myself the first time I did one, that area. So, you know, just kind of finding that hip bone and kind of going, you know, in between this area. And also I've been like pushing, and if that area feels kind of tender, I'll kind of move around and go to different spots. And I really haven't had, you know, any pain from them, which I'm just really surprised. Not saying the pain won't come, you know, and maybe there's less options to choose from. There's just too many tender spots, but I don't know. As of right now, I'm very thankful for that. So yeah, another thing I do want to update you guys on is that I am going to record when we do a pregnancy test. I am going to record when we get our beta results, but that video is probably going to be delayed, because I really just want time for us to experience it, for us to take in the news, good or bad, to grieve if we need to rejoice and celebrate if it's positive, and to be able to tell family and friends and all of that stuff. And so I'm not going to be so prioritizing getting this video up as quick as possible. So not that I don't want you guys to know, because I know, you know, when you're following someone, you want to, you know, see their journey and see what's going to happen, and you will know, but it just might be a little bit delayed. So just a heads up about that. So anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and for your support and your prayers and your sweet comments, and I'm just so thankful. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.